Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. I'm going to talk about all indie palettes. You know how much I love my eyeshadow palettes and you know how much I love my indie brands. I'm going to talk about my top 5 indie brands that absolutely smashed the releases, especially the eyeshadow palette releases for 2023. I actually have 6 brands. So I'll explain. It was very, very difficult to even narrow it down to 6, I would say. But these are the brands that have released several eyeshadow palettes, not like 1 or 2. And I definitely wanted to shout them out because I am so very excited to see, what they have coming for 2024. These absolutely give me all the tingles as soon as I hear that they're going to release. Some of them I'm an affiliate of, some of them I am not. These are truly, like, my opinion that I am super, super excited. So let's begin. On number 6, I have Ladybug Glow. Ladybug Glow released in 2023 and that is when I started using them. I have all the palettes that they have released. I am an affiliate of the brand and I have 9 palettes, and that's commendable to see like a new indie brand come in the market and just release so many palettes, and most of them I would say is absolutely wonderful. I'm talking about the quality, the color story. It's absolutely stunning. I'm so excited to see what they have coming for the future. Let me just go through the palettes so that you can see what is up and coming. One thing that I would tell Ladybug Glow is to just slow down on the releases. I know that this is so much of work, but I want people to appreciate their palette. I feel like if the brands release like 4 to 5 palettes every year, that's a good enough representation of the brand. And they can give like some beautiful color story. So let's start off with Ladybug Glow, okay? 9, I feel like it's too much. It's like almost like 1 palette every 1.5 months. I feel like that's just cutting the edge, ballpark. Not saying that they don't release some amazing palettes, because they do. This was their first palette that they released. This was called the Ladybug Glow palette. And if you know, I have already put this in my giveaway too, because I absolutely loved. My jaw was on the floor when I swatched these multi-chromes, because I feel like they definitely did something so very special with these multi-chrome. I do have a code with Ladybug Glow. It's Smithy Sony on their Etsy website, and you can save 10% off. I'll leave all the discount codes, coupon codes, links in the description box below for you guys. But this is such a beautiful palette. It's a matte heavy palette. All these mattes are so beautiful, so blendable. Love this matte black. Love the red. I don't think I have a better red in my collection, like more pigmented red in my collection. I love these tones. Now this is definitely a little bit more on the colorful side for me. I almost have a dent in this shade, which is called Stunning. Wow is also absolutely amazing. That's how much I love this palette. I absolutely love the multi-chromes in this palette, so I definitely had to shout it out. Now let's go in a random order because I don't know when they launch what palette. But next I want to talk about their Murky Waters palette, which is more of like that blue-green color story palette. Such beautiful tones. If you love any color story, do let me know in the Ladybug Glow collection which one is your favorite color story out of them. Such a beautiful palette, you guys. They do duochromes, multichromes so very well. Definitely want them to focus more on the mattes next year, just so that we can see more like pigmented and thicker mattes. They blend beautifully, don't get me otherwise. But the mattes are definitely more on like the lighter, like a powdery tone as compared to like some of the mattes that I personally love. Totally workable, totally. Okay, I think next is this Pond Lily palette. Such a beautiful spring tone palette. Look at this. It was stunning. Loved this shade so very much. This shade is stunning. All these duochromes, multi-chrome shades were absolutely beautiful. This is such a beautiful multi-chrome. And if you love a good multi-chrome in like the smooth formula, this goldeny shade is stunning. I definitely want to like use these palettes so much more than what I have used. Next, we have Galaxia Magica palette. Again, such a beautiful summer palette. Spring, summer, I would say. Beautiful color story. Then I think we had this palette, which was Everyday Sparkles. Used it a ton. It's their form of a neutral palette with a twist. It has so many shifts in direction, especially if you love like mauvey, pinky, purpley tones and orangey green. This is stunning. Small palette and love the color story. Then I think they came out with a Floresta palette. Beautiful and a unique color story. This is such a beautiful palette. I love this shade, this one. So pretty. Love this one. Cannot wait to test this out more. So pretty. Okay, then I think we had the Castle of Horror palette, which was their Halloween release. Look at the color story and the artwork. Stunning. Beautiful purple red leaning palette with like pops of blues too. Very pretty. And then they had their holiday releases for this year. They had 2 in the collection, Krampus Eve and Krampus Continued palette. Let me show you Krampus Eve, which is more of a matte heavy palette with 1 rainbow multi-chrome in the center. Very pretty. And then my favorite out of the 2 would be this one, which is Krampus Continued. I cannot tell you how much I love this shade. It's such a unique shade. And on the eyes, it's so pretty and wet looking. Very beautiful. So those were Ladybug Glow palettes. I'm so happy with Ladybug Glow. Just do what you're doing. I love everything that I've tried with Ladybug Glow. Some might fall a little below, some might fall up above, but they're doing an absolutely amazing job and I cannot recommend them enough. They're absolutely wonderful. The owner of Ladybug Glow is like an absolute gem of a person too. I absolutely love that lady so very much. On number 5, we have Gourmande Girls. Now, Gourmande Girls is definitely not a new brand to me. I have tested out several of their eyeshadow palettes. I also, from Gourmande Girls, have a lot of palettes in my collection. I think I started using them last year and I've fallen in love with them. I am an affiliate with Gourmande Girls too. My code is SMITHYSONY to save you 10% off. Let me show you all the palettes that they have released this year. I think they started off with Warriors Wear Pink palette. And this was like creating more like breast cancer awareness because this was in collaboration with Sirius Soto. And I love this palette. How beautiful, how girly, how elegant, how everyday it can go. And it can go glam and colorful too. It's such a beautiful color story. Beautiful. I absolutely love Gourmande Girls. There's no surprise in that at all. Then I think they came out with this palette, which was the Secret Grove palette. And this was in, I think, a subscription box palette, like an ice cream box, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was like an ice cream box subscription palette. A matte heavy palette only with 2 shimmers, 2 or 3. Like 2 shimmers, 1 multi-chrome and 1 duochrome. Again, a beautiful, like outside my comfort zone kind of a palette, but with unique tones. Beautiful palette. And then they came out with like their original size palette, which is more of like a 14 pan. Yes, 14 pan color story. So let me show you those palettes because those are definitely my favorite. I think they first came out with Nightshade palette. Such a unique color story and such beautiful tones. I absolutely love this. Love the shimmers, love the mattes. They have some beautiful eyeshadow formula in their collection. And I don't want them to change anything, just to work more on the color story, like different color story, which are unique to the industry. They will absolutely excel it. And then they came out with their version of the Halloween palette because I thought Nightshade was their Halloween palette. And then they came out with Haunted. Such cute packaging. And look at the color story. This is like a sister palette to the Spooked palette that they had last year. And all these like bigger pan palettes are in collaboration by Doodles by the Bunny here on Instagram. Love the color story. Love the variety that you can get with this palette. Really pretty. And then their holiday palette for this year was the Silent Night palette. I do have videos on all these palettes that I'm talking about today. And this is their holiday palette. I love the color story of this too. It's like a neutral palette with a twist with pops of yellows and blues. So pretty. And the shimmers, the mattes, everything is so buildable, so blendable, so dimensional. Love, love, love them. Now let's move on to the top 4. On number 4, we have Simply Posh Cosmetics. I am an affiliate with Simply Posh Cosmetics. Actually, I'm an affiliate with all of them. Some of them I've bought by my own money, and some of them I already have it in my collection. But these are the palettes that I tested out in 2023. Let's start off with the first palette that I tried this year, and that was Berry Icy palette. This palette knocked my socks off. This is gonna rank pretty high because their color stories, absolutely, such a beautiful color story. I have used this more than I thought I would. I am a big fan of this side, but even these tones and these shimmers surprised me to another level. I traveled with this palette when I went to India by customizing it to my own palette. I combined like Berry Icy, Genuine Gems palette, and some of the Citrus Sponge palette too. But yes, Berry Icy was their first palette that they launched this year. And then I tried Citrus Sponge palette right before I went for the summer vacation. Oh my god, this palette and the color story is so refreshing. It makes me smile every time I open this palette. These are some bright neon shades in my collection, and these shimmers are absolutely outstanding, and the mattes are so buildable, so blendable. I'm gonna go out of words because that's how their color stories are. They just do their color stories so very well. Look, from the artwork of the palette to the shades that are chosen inside, they just push their own boundaries, and I love them so very much. Now, this is the next palette that I tried from them, and that was Fairy Tales Fairies palette. And this was sent to me when I was on vacation. This actually released last year, but they sent it out to me this year when they relaunched this palette. Beautiful, beautiful palette. I'm not more of like a pastel person, so I don't use this palette a lot, but I'm pretty sure if I use these, because I'm a big fan of these two rows, if I use these tones with like punchy jewel tone mattes, I'm going to use this so much more because their shimmers, their muted tones are so pretty. Love it. Like, these pastel tones look very, very light on me. That's the only reason, but I still love. I know so many people enjoy this palette. I feel like the pastel shades are definitely much more lighter on me, but I love the deeper tones and the duochrome shades. So beautiful. I have a code with Simply Posh Cosmetics too, and it's just Smithy to save you 10% off. Then they came out with their holiday palette, and this was their Cozy Cabin palette. Such cozy vibes, so Christmassy looking. This might be my favorite palette that they have launched yet because I really, really, really love this color story. I've used this a ton even in my office. I love, love, love this story. Like, if you love neutral tones, this is like neutral tones with a twist because you do get colors. You have warm tones and you have cool tones, but this is so pretty, you guys, so pretty. And recently, they came out with the Aurora Lights palette. This is definitely more cool tone and wintry. It also has like punchy, neon-y shades. It's so pretty. Look at this. I recently reviewed this and I did 2 looks using this palette. Do check it out. I'll link a few videos in the description box below for you guys and a few in the iCards below for you guys. Such beautiful color story. Love it. They've definitely improved their shimmer shadows because earlier it was like hardly pressed in the pan, but I could still use it with like my brush. But these shades definitely cause much less of a hard pan, and they go on the eyes so very nicely. If you're curious about what am I wearing on my eyes, it's gonna come next, because next we are going to talk about our top 3 indie brands that I tried in 2023. On number 3, we have Glaminatrix Cosmetics. They came out, or I tried 3 palettes from them this year, and it was Into the Night palette, Sugar and Spice palette, and Rich Romantic palette. Let me go through it because they do their quality, their color story. Everything just knocks it out of the ballpark, and I love them so very much. This was Into the Night palette. I love this, like the neons in this palette plus like the wearable shades in this palette just makes it so very pretty. I love this as like a fall palette, but you can also use these like neon combined with these neon shades in the summer season. It's so, so, so fun. And the shimmers, the mattes, everything is so, so nice. Like, do you want to see the shimmers? Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Like, look. Ugh. Cannot. Okay, next they came out with Sugar and Spice palette. Now, they're going into the direction of like these size of palettes, which I am loving. Like, not saying that I didn't like this style, because I like this style too. In this style of packaging, you're getting more shades, but smaller pans, which I do not mind at all. Like, if that's my personal opinion, I do not mind it at all. And these shades are magnetic too, so you can like shift the palette shades here and there, which I'm a big fan of. Now, this was their neutral palette with pops of pastels. Oh, I love this so very much. They have some beautiful multi-chromes in this palette, and they have a middle row with mattes, like neutral cool tone mattes, and then they have some pastels and duochromes, and these are like full of multi-chromes and sparkly shifty shades. Such a beautiful palette. Big fan of this, big fan of this. Let me swatch a few shades, because you should see how stunning these palettes are. Oh my God. Okay, let's do this, this, and this. Look at that, one swipe situation. And look how sparkly and shifty and dimensional these shades are. So pretty. Okay, then I feel like they came out with a palette, and I couldn't stop drooling over this palette, because I feel like this palette from them is definitely my favorite. I use these shades so very much. The shimmers, the mattes in this palette were just made for me. Like, if you wanted a Glaminatrix palette for Smithy, this is the palette. Love it to death. Love it. Okay, look at this color story and tell me if this is not me. I don't know what is. I love the corals, the purples, the pinks, the grungy greens, and the multi-chromes in this palette is to another level. Look at the way it's shifting in the pan itself. Oh, I love this shade. I love that shade. Everything is so beautiful. Okay, time for some swatches. Okay, look at this. Look at these shades. And look at the way it shifts. It's so pretty, you guys. So pretty. Oh my God, I can drool over this. Drool. Like, they are so stunning. And I cannot wait to see what Glaminatrix Cosmetics have for us. I have the code with them. This is Smithy Sony. You'll save 10% off on Glaminatrix Cosmetics. Time for top 2. This was so difficult because I absolutely love these brands so very much. On number 2, we have Beaute Bar. I purchased 2 palettes and I was gifted 1 palette from them. And these are the 3 palettes that I tested. Beaute Bar for the first time. I started with the Sun and the Sea palette, and I fell in love with them so hard. This palette is so well used by me, especially their brown tones here, and these 8 shades. I use it like to office, and I do not regret it, because I love to sparkle and shine even in the office, and I love the tones. These iridescent multi-chrome shades, stunning, you guys, stunning. Let me swatch a few shades, because you need to see how beautiful these are, because they're truly breathtaking. They are some beautiful shimmers. The matte, I love Beaute Bar mattes. Oh my God, just stunning. Like, look at the way it shifts. It's so pretty. Oh, can drool over these so very much. And then I tested out their Halloween palette, which was the recently de-influenced palette. You guys, I am eyeing the Basic Witch palette, okay? I don't know why I did not try it, but I really want it. I might get it. This was the recently de-influenced palette. Oh my god, oh my god. This is such a stunning palette, you guys. Such a stunning palette. It's full of jewel tones, shifty, sparkly shades. Oh, their color story, I can drool over it. Like, it's such beautiful color story that they make. It's just stunning. Even their mattes, let me actually swatch one of the mattes too, so that you can see, like, it's not only the shimmers, but also their mattes, that it's so pretty. This is the UV activated shade. Then we have this matte. Look at the matte, look at the matte. And this is another shimmer. That's a beautiful green to a purple shifting shade. Oh, I see green, you see purple. Look at that. Such a beautiful palette and color story. Killed it, absolutely killed it. And then finally, the palette that they gifted it to me was their jeweled palette, which is their jewel tone palette. Again, I've said this several times on my channel. If you need one jewel tone palette from any brand, it needs to be this, because this is such a beautiful palette, you guys. I'm actually wearing this shade, Chariot and Amethyst, on my outer corners. And then I blended it out with other shades, I'll tell you. But these are the two shades that I'm using today. It's such a beautiful palette. Look at that. I've done several looks on my channel before, and I absolutely love this palette so very much. Actually, on my inner corners, I was wearing Rich Romantics shade, which was Captivating. And then I blended it out with this Intoxicating shade all across my crease. Okay, now time for number one. The brand that absolutely I cannot stop drooling over. If you can guess it out in the comment section below and tell me which would be the brand that would have absolutely knocked my socks off. From the time it landed in my collection, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Stunning. By the way, I do have a code with Bella Beaute Bar too, which is Smithy Sony. Let's move on to the number one indie brand that I have in my collection, okay? And I'm talking about Ensley Cosmetics. If you guessed Ensley, you know how much I am obsessed with them. This is the palette that started my love affair with them, the Harvest Moon palette. I don't even know how I'm gonna rank all these palettes, because there's some gorgeous palette in my collection and that gives me anxiety even thinking about it, but I'm so excited that they're all in my collection, okay? Harvest Moon palette. These palettes are all magnetic, which again, huge plus point, but these make the palettes a little more on the pricier side. But man oh man, the shadows that you're getting is to another level. Look at the color story. Look at the color story and tell me if this is not fall. Get out of here, because this is fall, okay? Because this is so stunning, so shifty, so holochromy, so multi-chromy. The shades are so blendable that you would not miss the lighter tone shades too. Because I know that this might look deep, which it is, like it can deepen up any eye look. But if you take like a big fluffy brush and dust it out on your crease, it can also make like a good transitioning shade too. Absolutely love the artwork that every palette Ensley has, and the color story, stunning. Let me swatch Bougie, Wishful Thinking, Flannel from this palette. Oh my god, I'm getting breathless because I get excited over these palettes so very much. Look at the shades, look at the shifts, look at the holochrominess. Oh my god. Let me see. Can you even see the holochrome? Because it's creaming onto me. I don't think you can see the holochrome, you guys. Oh, you need to trust me. Trust me. The next palette that I want to talk about is Twisted Tea Party palette. This is another palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm actually wearing this shade, which is Delirious Dormouse. This shade on my inner crease of the eyelid. That's what you're seeing. Look at this artwork. Even inside, you get another artwork of the cat. So pretty. And look at this color story. Actually, I have a few of their single shadows also in this. But oh my god, I've done several eye looks using these palettes and they're just stunning. They're just so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, let me swatch a few shades, okay? Mind Melt, Bonkers, this. I think this one was one of the single shadows. But you can see the shiftiness of these shades. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god, oh my god. Stunning. Stunning is the word. Okay, let's move on to the next palette that landed in my collection from them. And that was Lands of Enchantment palette. The artwork on this, oh my god. Oh, I gasped when I saw this palette come at my doorstep. The box, the packaging, it looked so luxe. And when I saw this color story, like, look at the presentation of the palette. I know it's a bigger palette, but oh my god, pastels, mid-tones, deeper tones, everything included. It's stunning. Stunning. Oh my god, don't drop this. Let's swatch a few shades from here too. Don't even know what to swatch because they're all so pretty. Here, let's do here. Such a beautiful holochrome. Oh, might be the favorite. Look at that. Can you even see the holochromes? Oh, it's just so pretty. I love it so very much. Oh my god. Okay, and last, certainly not the least, because I absolutely cannot wait for Ensley Rain to come out with more palettes because they absolutely knock my socks off. Again, I want Ensley Rain also to focus on the palettes that they're releasing, and I want to use them even more rather than just buying and buying. Or like, as a consumer, I want their palettes to be a little more on the affordable side, which however it can be. It can be less number of shadows, it can be not magnetic, it can be less amount of eyeshadow palettes that we are buying. But oh my goodness, they do something so very well. The latest palette in my collection was the Cold Moon palette. I have the shade Snow Crystal, this one, on my eyelid today. If I pair this shade with blues, it will show more of that blue purple. And right now I'm pairing it with that purple shade, so it's showing more pink purple. And it's full of holochrome shades. Let me swatch a few shadows because I recently done a video using this palette and it's stunning. Okay, ready? Let's do this. It's just stunning. Oh my god, how do they even do it? Look at this, look at this. What? Oh my god. Stunning. Stop it right now. Get on my front door. Oh, this is absolutely, they give me all the, you know, the tingliness in my tummy. What I wait for their palettes to release just because they just have something so beautiful in their whole entire collection, which just makes me smile so hard. They do just perfect eyeshadows. I love their mattes, I love their shimmers, I just love everything about it. You don't need any additional help for these shimmers, you don't need any glitter glue, nothing. Like, this is straight up on my dry eyelids and it just shines like crazy. So happy with Ensley. Again, I am an affiliate with Ensley and I have my code Smithy Sony, which will save you 10% off. So very impressed by these indie brands. If you were eyeing any of these indie brands, you're not going to be disappointed. I have several more indie brands to talk about in my future videos. So stay tuned for my ranking, because you will see me rank all the eyeshadow palettes that I've tried in 2023, and it's going to be difficult. So stay tuned for that. But that's all for today, guys. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.